Hello, I'm back. Spent the last 6 weeks in Australia, maybe 7 weeks, just working away because I'm trying to buy a big workshop over here, so I can start Kamikaze Japan chapter. But yeah, I landed on Sunday. Today is Wednesday. I've had a couple of things to organise from being away for so long, paying electricity bills, water bills, phone bills, internet bills, blah blah blah. But that's all sorted now. I've just walked into the shed, opened everything up because I'm going to start sanding the 180 because I'd like to get it painted because it's looked like a bit of a bag of dicks for quite some time now, so I'd like it to look cool. And here we are. It is fucking hot. I'll find out what the temperature is and get back to you guys, but it feels like it's about maybe 32 degrees. The heat's not too bad, but it's the humidity that's killer. It'd be around probably 90% humidity right now, which isn't too bad compared to the weather I have experienced here. But yes, at the moment it's disgusting because I just left Australia and it's winter there. Left there at like 10 degrees, landed here at like 35, so it's disgusting. But Kansai All-Stars qualifying on Sunday. Today's Wednesday. Let's get this car painted and go do some driving on Sunday, hopefully qualify, and then heading up to Bridget's place to do G1 GP and Matsuri the following weekend, and then I'll be heading back down here to just get back into the swing of things. So let's get this car sanded. That's what we look like at the moment. All mismatched panels, as you guys have seen, and as I've been driving it since I reshelled this thing. But yeah, I'm about to move all the cars out. I move them over to there's like this little sort of area just there that I can sort of do a U-turn and park in there. So I'll move the 180 just there, and then I'll move the S14 all the way up to over there, and then Bridget my 180 all the way up to there as well, so that I can start sanding this thing, and I'm not going to get basically sanding dust over everything. So yeah, let's get some cars moved and let's get into it. Hope everyone's well, and I'm sorry it's been a while since an upload, but yeah, I'm not a full-time tube uber, so I've got to, work to earn moolah. But yeah, let's get into it. Alright, S14's over there in the tall grass. 180's in here, about to pull it apart. Just checked the weather so I could update you guys. Not as bad as I thought. I think only 33 degrees. Apparently feels like 35, and only 65% humidity today, which is sick. I am, however, sweating like no tomorrow already. But yes, let's start getting everything off the car. I'm going to pull the front bar off, the front guards off, the side skirts off, the rear bar off, the bonnet off, the mirrors off, and then I will prep everything, paint the car, and then all of those parts separate. I'm not sure if I've told you guys what I want to do with this, but basically I want to do a gunmetal grey bottom, and then on the top I actually want to go kind of gunmetal till about there, and then start flicking sort of red into the roof, and then I've got red like window tint that fades from black to red, so I'm going to put that in there and match up where basically that line is where I faded in. So basically the whole bottom of the car will be dark, and then till about there it'll go red from there. Then I want to do just small little bits and pieces in red. I'd like to get some red wheel nuts, paint my brake calipers red, get red underglow for it, and then do, as you've seen, I've already put red indicators in it, and just small little bits and pieces like that. I've already started to do that with the interior, as you guys have seen. I painted that black with red flake. I've got a red Boss kit, an NRG one. I've got a red drift button and also a red horn button. But yeah, just little bits and pieces like that is kind of how I like to usually style a car. The predominant color being black, and then just little intricacies of another color everywhere else. I've done that with green, I've done it with purple. Have I done it with red before? No, I haven't done it with red before. But yeah, I have done it with red on my Chaser. But yeah, let's get into yanking this apart. Car is all stripped off now. Got all the parts here. I'm going to leave the bonnet on for the time being. Just that way I can sand everything and have like as little sort of sanding dust fall in the engine bay as I can. And then I'll mask the car up, and then once I've masked the car up, then I'll pull the bonnet off, give everything a spray down, and yeah, get it ready for paint. Just got the car sprayed off with air, and just wanted to give you guys a rundown as to what I use to sand my cars. Again, I am not a painter, so don't take my word for it. However, my paint jobs do turn out alright. I think this is a 4 or 5 inch sanding disc. I usually use a 6, but the sandpaper I ordered was unfortunately for this size, which I think is 5 inch. I'm using 400 grit sandpaper. I usually actually only use 320 to do the whole car. And then I've got a contour pad on here. You can see this is soft. That actually peels off, which is usually you'd smack this on. However, if you nose the sander in, like on the front, it'll actually dig like a pretty decent hole. And then you'll have to chase that hole to try to get it smooth. So I usually like to order these contour pads. They're a bit soft. And then basically you can kind of just apply even pressure all over the car. Professional painters, I'm quite sure, block cars back. They don't actually like sand them with an Orbi. And I have seen, you know, to my eye, I've never seen it until I went to my friend Kev's house from K-Works, and he was like, yeah, look at that door, and the door was like a little bit ripply, and he was like, that's because someone's used an Orbi on there. And I was like, oh, I've never noticed that, again, because, you know, these are just drift cars, and I'm going to crash it into a wall at some stage, so it doesn't need to be a show car paint job. However, they do usually come out quite glossy and quite nice. They're not winning auto salon awards, but they look good from 10 meters away, and that's all that matters to me. So I'm gonna bang this contour pad back on, get the 400 on there, and then just start prepping the entire car. For small stuff like this, I've actually got an even smaller sander that I have a small disc on it that's very small that I can just quickly knock stuff like that over with. Alternatively, you could just hand sand that. But yeah, let's get into sanding this car. Many hours later, that's this part of the car done. Some little bits and pieces I still want to tidy up, but yeah, tail lights are out, boot lights out, antennas out, rear window wipers out. Yeah, everything's prepped up on this now. So yeah, realistically now I need to prep rear bar, front guards, side skirts, front bar, and then everything is ready to spray. So yeah, it is fucking hot. I am super ready to call it a night. However, it is 8:49, and I feel like if I just push for another realistically 2 hours, I can get everything prepped, and then that way I can wake up in the morning and just start spraying straight away. So that's possibly what I'm gonna do, but we'll see. Let's keep chipping away. 10:30, everything's done except for the bonnet. Just realised that now as I started filming. But yes, that's me done. I'm feeling fucking disgusting. Figured I'd flip this around to show you guys. Feeling gross as. Yes. Feeling super wet from all this humidity. And I should have worn a mask all day for sanding, and I haven't, so my nose is super dry, as well as the back of my throat. But stoked with the progress today. I'm going to go inside, have a cold shower, give myself a proper scrub, and then yeah, get along with my night. Wake up in the morning and we'll basically touch everything else up. Just little bits and pieces after we blow everything down with the air blower. Mask the car up and get spraying. King. I hate prep. I love painting, I fucking hate this part of the process. Alright, see you guys tomorrow. Hello. 6:06 the next day at night. Just about to start getting into it. What's going on here? In a moment. It's a bit better. Today I've been just trying to organise a whole bunch of stuff in my truck. and also getting some better lighting for in this shed because it was so dim before. So I went and got some LED lights to put in the top where the fluoro lights were. I got 2 of those, and then I went and bought this kind of big sort of claw light, and it's all connected now. Fair bit brighter in here now. There's that fluoro light. There's the little claw Johnny, and then another fluoro at the back, so I can actually see all around the car now. This back corner still a little bit dark, but not too bad. And I've actually just bought another fan as well, which I'll put over this side. But yeah, just going to do some final sanding now and everything, make sure everything's good, and then once that's done, I will probably move all the sanded stuff into the corner, move the car maybe out, and then sweep all of this so that it's all swept sort of forward and there's no dust sort of laying on the ground there. And then I'll put the car back in, mask the car up, close the booth up. I actually just sort of make that sort of go down to there and this side to where it is, and I have some massive piece of like Glad wrap that I wrap from side to side to side until I can make a makeshift door. And then just the 2 fans will be there blowing all the air to the back for the exhaust fan to extract it. But yeah, and then we'll start spraying. So probably another hour until we actually start putting paint down. But yeah, let's get into it. I've moved everything out of the way. I didn't move this out and sweep it, I've just left it as it is. I've just started masking up the whole car, so this is, if you're following this along for some advice, I used to like this real thin stuff. I think it's like maybe 14mm, 12mm tape to just mask all my edges off. And then you can get this sheet that basically has like tape on the top of it, and then you can drape it down, trim it off with this with a razor blade on the tape, and then basically just tape the bottom on, and that'll have the whole basically panel that you want to cover covered. So I'll do the windscreen down to about there, and then I'll do from that side of the car all the way to this side of the car and go that way, so that's all masked off. And then I'll do along this all the way to there, cut it off along this, and tape that down, and I'll do the same on the other side, and then I'll do the rear windscreen as well, and then that'll be the whole car technically masked up. And then once that's done, I will put this door up, then wax and grease the car, and then I'll go and mix up some primer, get the primer down, wait for that to set, possibly get another coat. I'll probably get a couple of coats of primer down, probably 3 depending how wet I put it on for. And then I'll basically mix that up to be wet on wet, and then I'll literally just go mix paint straight away, come back in, paint the car. And then once the car's done, I've also got to work out and take note of how many layers I'm doing on the car of paint, because it is gunmetal grey, so the more layers you put on, the darker it's going to get. So I've kind of got to go, okay, well this is how many I'm putting on the car. I can carry that over to the kit, because obviously if I paint the kit a darker shade or a lighter shade, it's going to come up once you put it on the car. So yeah, basically take note of all that. I'm not going to prime the front guards, I'm not going to prime the front bar, I am going to prime the skirts and the rear bar. So I'll work out if I can fit it in this space. Hopefully I'll be able to. So I can just get it all sprayed tonight, and then basically wake up in the morning and I can assemble the car. So that's the plan. What time is it? It's 7:09. So yeah, it's only just starting to go dark now. You can still see a bit of sunlight out now. Not that I need it. It's super bright in here now. Stoked with these lights. This heaps of light. So yeah, that's the Strat. I'm gonna keep chipping away. I'll mask this up and show you guys what it looks like after that, and then I'll see if I can squeeze in the rear bar and the side skirts on a panel stand in here, so that I can get those primed. And then once they're primed, basically to get room in here, I'll probably take them out, sit them just on the panel stands over there, and then spray the car, and then kind of bring each piece in and spray the kit. Not that I also don't really want to be doing that, because of my setup is home job as fuck, so I don't want to be, let's say, spraying a kit here and me getting then overspray on the car. So yeah, this might have to be a 2-stage job, whereas I like spray the car now, have the car set and sprayed, and then kind of spray, like wait for that to set in, and then in the morning move that out, move the kits in, and then spray the kits, and then realistically by tomorrow afternoon, 5 hours, they should be hardened enough to fit onto the car. But it would be sick to be able to just get everything sprayed right now. That way I can just wake up in the morning and assemble the car. But beggars can't be choosers. I am limited with space. So yeah, my main priority is the car, so let's get into it. I was gonna skip filming this step, but I thought I'd show you guys kind of what this looks like once it's on. So yeah, this is you buy, it's like a drop sheet. I'm not sure the technical term for it, but yeah, basically you just put that over. It's like a static sheet, so you basically just pull it down, and then I'll just trim it off on that, tape that, and then that'll be the window done. This is by far the easiest way to tape up a car. Well, so I've experienced, I think the first time, or even third, fourth time I sprayed a car, I was doing it with like newspaper. But yes, technology. All masked up. Not going to worry about these wheels because I don't care about them in a CBF. But everything else is covered up now. So yeah, I try to work out how I'm going to do this door, because I actually have to put the ladder up here to reach the top, and then I need to move the ladder to that side also while I hold onto the thing and keep it tight. And I usually do that with 2 people, but I don't have 2 people here. It's just me, myself, and I. So yeah, I've got a fan there that's blowing basically everything this way, and a fan here that's blowing everything that way. So I'm thinking I might be able to get away with not putting the door up, but I would much rather the door up. It's not windy, so it's not going to blow any dust up or anything like that. I'll close that window and the door. So yeah, we might get away with it, so that's what I'm going to do. Not what I would recommend, but I will wax and grease this now, and then I'll go mix up some primer, and we'll get the first guide coat of primer down. I'm just about to start mixing up some paint. So I've just found the data sheet on this for a wet and wet application. So it'll be paint 100%, well 100. Basically this is off ratios. So if I was to put 100 grams of paint in, I need to put 40 grams of thinners or reducer in, and then for my hardener 20% of that, which would be, that would work out to be 140, and 20% of that would work out to be, what's 10% of it, 14, 20%, 28 grams if I was to put 148 or 140 in. So yeah, I like to just use cups for mixing my paint and a scale to weigh it. So I'll always just put my cup on there, zero that out, and then basically mix my paint. So what I'm going to do is I'll mix up probably 300 mil. I don't know, I think this cup fits just on a litre, so I might mix up like 500 mil, then work out what 40 of that needs to be, and then 20% of that needs to be. I need to kind of do it with my calculator, so I'll make sure it's all right. But yeah, this is where we're at. I should have shown you guys how I do this, but basically you can kind of see how I do it, rather than having to you can get a clip that kind of clips in there so that the paint doesn't run down into this rim. I like to just put a bit of tape either side and then fold it over on the edges like that, and then that way it'll pour sort of up and out of this snout and straight off the end there. Yes, let's get some paint mixed up into the gun and let's get some coats down. Alright, first coat down. It's coming together real good. So I've got my gun set at full fan. Fan is all the way open. I don't actually have a gauge on my gun, but I'm usually spraying at like 30 psi. I'm just feeling that by hand at the moment by holding the gun because I don't have a gauge on it. But to minimize that, I would get a gauge on your gun. I'm literally just going off feel and what you usually feel how it's coming out of the gun. Obviously that comes with just lots of experience with doing it. So it's not something I would be like, oh, just try and see if it feels like 30 psi coming out, because that's just not the way it works. A little bit heavy, heavier than the dust, to be honest. I've already got a bug in this, which is really annoying, so I'll have to pick that out before the next one. 2 bugs actually. Yes, it's all open. Thankfully that fan is keeping everything this way. That fan is basically, that's pushing it to about here, and then that's carrying over and all going out the exhaust fan. Seems to be working pretty good. Air doesn't feel too dusty. I don't actually have a mask on yet. because this is majority base coat. 3 bugs in this now, so annoying. 4 bugs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, I'll have to make sure all these bugs die before I get to the actual painting. 5 bugs. Because yeah, I'm fighting an uphill battle here now. So I'm going to let this flash off for, I think, the next, let's say, 5 minutes. I think it's got a flash off time of 10 minutes. But yeah, I haven't set a timer because I wanted to get filming straight away. But yes, man, I can hear a hectic bug being so loud. Yeah, look at him. He's making lots of noise just then. Alright, get all these bugs out and we'll go second coat. Oh, he's going again. Let's see if we can catch him this time. He's nervous. Stage fright. Alright, see you after the second coat. Alright, so that's all the primer down. Hard to tell, but hopefully primed up. I'm about to start putting down some paint. Don't do this. Don't do shit like that. Just fix it. Do as I say, not as I do. Same with this. It's not a good example of paint prep. Same with that. But yes, thankfully no more bugs. Alright, yeah, I'm mixing up some paint now and then let's get some layers on. Paint's mixed up, there's a colour I'm going. It's called Gunmetal Coarse. That's it, hard to see. Oh. But yes, very keen. Let's get some layers on. Alright, that's the dust coat and then the first layer down. And it stands up so high, it almost looks like it's just dusty as on the top. You can see it's just so coarse and metallic in it. So I'm going to have to bury the absolute shit out of it with clear and hope that it doesn't go super orange peely. It's also hard spraying grey or silver because you've got to be very consistent with it. As you can see, I've got like this line kind of from there across where it's going to look a little bit inconsistent, so I've got to try to smooth that out on the next one. Yeah, so let that flush off. We'll do the last coat real heavy and then we'll get into putting clear down. Alright, that's the base coat all down. It still looks pretty brown, to be honest. Or bronze, and I don't like that, so I'm really hoping once I get some clear on it that it'll darken up, but we will see. It's still standing up really high, so I'm hoping once I put the clear down it really starts to flatten out, but if not, I'm going to have to hectically or wet sand the whole car and then buff it to get it all to flatten out. So the less of that I can do, the better. Just mixing up some clear now. I'm going to do the roof first, which is where I want to flick the red into from the pillars about there up. So I'm going to mix up some clear with some flake in it and get that down, and I'll also put a little bit of pearl in that as well and get that basically all painted, and then I will mix up just straight clear for the rest of the car without pearl or flake in it and get that down on the rest of the car, and then I'm probably going to call it a night. It is 11:13, so you're pretty late. I'm stuffed, I'm really hot, still need to go to the gym, but yeah, basically that'll get done tonight, and then first thing in the morning I'll get up, prime the rear bar and skirts, and then paint basically front guards, rear bar, front bar, skirts, and then hopefully by about lunchtime, maybe 3 o'clock, it'll all be all touch dry and I can reassemble the car and then go do a drive tomorrow night, I hope. Just wish me luck. Let's go put some clear on. I have too many options. Don't know which one to choose. All this is by Tropical Glitz. This is a cherry bomb. Strawberry daiquiri. Sunburn, which is what I sprayed in that last video on my interior. And then this one's a thing called Rum Runner. It's kind of the darkest of reds. And then I'm going to put this Interstellar Pearl, red Interstellar Pearl, into the clear as well. So yes, I'm kind of stuck on which one to choose from. I think it'll probably go, it's actually a red with a rainbow tinge in it. And then it's light, a straight red, darker again. So, yes. In all honesty, I might mix some, I'm not sure. I'll let you guys know. Well, I've decided on, I'm going to put 3 in there. So I've gone the cherry bomb, the strawberry daiquiri, and the sunburn. This is what it looks like in there. A bit hard to see. I'll see if I can get some light on this thing. It's going to look pretty wild once it comes out. But yes, keen to get that down. Let's put it on the car. 12:52. All finished up now. Pretty stoked. It's flattened out a lot more than I thought it was going to. Just because of how high that base coat was kind of standing up. But it's going to definitely need a really good wet sand and buff to come up how I actually want it to. But yeah, stoked. Let's see if we can see some red in the roof. See a little bit there. Pretty happy with that. I would have liked it a lot more red, but yeah, next time. I've just washed everything up. I am ready for food, however I'm too tired to go get food. However, I need to get food because whilst I'm in Japan, I'm always neglecting my health and myself and end up looking like a fucking zombie and losing heaps of weight. So I'm gonna go inside, have a shower, shit out of myself, and then go get some dinner. And then I'm going to head to bed, wake up in the morning, unmask the car, and then I'll get the car out in the sun whilst I get the rest of this done. Hopefully assemble the car tomorrow night. Yeah, see how time's permitting. I don't have to drive until Sunday. Kansai All-Stars is qualifying for Hyogo Prefecture. Me is on Sunday. That's what I'm getting this car ready for. Yes, I'm wrecked. I'm hungry. See you guys tomorrow.